Hi there. I don't really know how to make a video such as this, and I don't know if I'm necessarily going to get out everything that I want to say, but I suppose I had two reasons for making this video. The first is that I wanted to offer an explanation as to sort of what's going on, because for those of you who follow me, you'll probably recognize that, I haven't uploaded anything yet, and that's kind of unusual because I tend to upload videos by now, talking a little bit about, my spring campaign and so on and so forth. So I guess what I can say is that sometimes the universe likes to throw a curveball. Sometimes life likes to upset the balance and alter things. And something rather life-altering happened to me on April the 20th, and it kind of changed my trajectory for so many things. It rocked me to my core, and then there just some other. On April 20th, my aunt called me to inform me that my father had passed away suddenly, and the wind left my sails, and I felt there was an emptiness there. Obviously, as a man loses his father, I didn't really feel a drive, and I haven't really felt a drive since then, to make content, particularly talking in front of the camera. And that feels really foreign to me, because I've never had difficulty expressing myself in front of the camera. But I guess I've just really struggled with the idea of putting on a face and narrating, my adventures since that. And I did have a lot of plans for this year. I had a list of all the things I wanted to do this year, and that's most certainly gone to the back burner, and it may not even come to fruition. But I can't predict the future. Maybe that drive will come back eventually, but for sure, at least for this year, this will be my only video. And so that was the first reason I made this video, was to offer an explanation as to what happened and where I've been. And so, this is a farewell for now. But the second reason I made this video is because I wanted to honor my dad, Phil. And I think it's amazing when we look at people and we look at how they were brought up and the experiences they've had and how that shaped who they are. And so I kind of wanted to honor my dad by talking about the ways in which he shaped me to become the man that I've become. So I'll try to make a long story short here, but my dad had a nickname, and I don't know how far back it stretched, but from being a little boy, I can remember my dad's love of birds. And so it kind of gave him this nickname of the Birdman. And this is a silver pendant that, my dad had made from a 1 ounce bar that my mom got him for his birthday one year. This beautiful eagle. And my dad, we always had pet birds, right? From pigeons that my dad had rescued all the way up to, blue and gold macaws and cockatoos, and we bred birds. And so there's always been this connection between my dad and birds, and I make this connection now. Anytime I see a bird, I just think about my dad. And because there's birds everywhere, I think of my dad often. But some of my earliest memories, of my dad probably surround music, if I'm being honest. I can remember being at our townhouse in Scarborough, and my dad was slamming away on his Ibanez. He has a Paul Stanley PS10. Well, now I have it, for reasons known. And I can remember him playing Love Gun and singing along, and I was sitting there on the floor with this little toy guitar that I was trying to jam along with. trying to put in Ace Frehley's solo work. Just, yeah, I still can't do to this day. But those are some of my earliest memories, and riding around in the Astro van, blasting Iron Maiden and singing, and and air drumming and air guitaring and stuff, and that love of music is something my dad passed on to me, and I've probably never shown that to any of you here. I mean, I choose certain types of music for my videos, and there's always music in my videos, but I think that it's something that I've never necessarily shown to you as viewers. Some of you that are watching probably know my love of music, but what I love is that my dad not only loved playing music, he loved to support me through my music. And when I was playing in bands and when I was singing, my dad was there happily setting up the PAs and helping us move gear into those venues, and and gloating about me, and he had so much pride, so much so that some of that made it into his wedding speech that he gave at my wedding, which I'm so grateful that my dad was able to be there for that amazing moment in my life, that milestone. And Christ, I could go on for days about all the things I'm grateful for, but I'm grateful to my dad for teaching me to throw a ball and swing a bat, to skate and to shoot a puck, and to keep my pedals, you keep my feet on the pedals. He had to tape them so that I wouldn't take my feet off when we took off the training wheels. But I'm grateful, to my dad for, kind of bullying me into finally keeping my feet on the pedals, and to keep pushing forward. And Dad, I'm going to keep pushing forward. Dad, I'm going to keep pushing forward. So, but yeah, my dad also instilled a love of fishing into me from a young age. And once again, I think about some of my youngest memories. My earliest memories are of fishing, and up at my grandparents' cottage, sitting there, holding up a walleye for the camera, and and smiling in front of the sink that they would later be filleted by, and watching those Bob Azumi and Fishing Canada episodes with my dad on those Saturday mornings. And my dad always teaching me to leave my line in the water a little bit longer. Don't set the hook quite yet. Let him take that that worm on that float. Watch that float go under, but give him a second. He taught me patience. He's taught me to be calm, cool, and collected. It took him a while, but he exemplified that through so much of my life, and becoming a father and teaching me those valuable lessons, even when he got ill and frail from the strokes. He still tried to teach me that I had to be calm, and reminded me that once upon a time I was very similar to my son, a little bit of a deviant, a little bit of a terror. So I'm really grateful to my dad, and I wanted to make this video to thank him, and I feel like this is a great part of the grieving process for me, to say this all out loud. Like, I've written it down or said it to my wife, but this almost feels like a proclamation of the love I felt for my father, and my gratitude for him, the teachings, the birthdays, the countless hours he worked to, pay for the gas and for the I don't know, what would you call it, the registration fees for all the sports I played, and the many kilometers driven, the smiles shared, the laughs, the farts, and being able to guide me through this crazy adventure called life. And it's something that if everything goes as planned, we're all going to have to go through it one day. So I'm going through it, and I don't really know what to say. I guess I'll end this by saying that a couple of days after my dad passed, probably still in a state of shock, still in a state of, I don't know what stage I was in, I did go out and I filmed a session that I had, and I did manage to land my first fish of the year. And I was wearing this necklace, and I'd like to think that, his energy was with me. I'm not a religious man. I'm a spiritual man, but I'd like to think that I had the Birdman on my side that day.
Thanks, Dad. I need that.
Love you, old man.